Hey, what's up, folks? It's your girl Marquita Woods, the Queen of Mortgages, coming to you with the first Tuesday tip of 2022. It's time for us to get back on our grind. My MLS number is 196099, and I wanted to come on and share today, if you read the caption, a tip about building wealth, which is probably not what you think it's going to be. So I'm going to give Facebook a chance to build a quick audience. I don't know where you are in the country, but we are in the DMV and we are snowed in, man. Like, I'm praying for the people that actually are still stuck in their cars, guys. In 2022, with all of the predicaments of snow, how can we still have people stuck on the freeway in their car for 12 hours overnight? So I'm certainly praying, for them, that they get home safely. I mean, we had people with power outages overnight, so we were very fortunate that our power did not go off. So I'm feeling very blessed about that. But I decided, no matter what today, bad hair day and all, that I was going to start off the new year with our Tuesday tip, going live, and I wanted to share, something with you. And I thought about you all because, I mean, can we not decide for sure that we know that America's in a crisis, right? We're in a crisis, but more than anything, I feel like we're in a financial crisis. I mean, would you all agree? Like, there's definitely financial crisis going on. I'm wondering if part of the reason the roads weren't cleared off was because they didn't have enough workers. I'm not really sure. I don't know. That part of that is speculation. But my goal this year in 2022 is I want to be. I was on a webinar, but I want to be the captain of your wealth advisor team. So you guys probably don't know, but in the past I played basketball, so everything kind of revolves around sports themes and different things like that for me. So I want to be the captain of your wealth advisor team for people that are looking to purchase a home or already own a home and looking for some ways to do something with the money. But so when we started talking about wealth, I said there's a financial crisis, and today I was going to give you this tip. So I'm going to get to it at this point. And I thought about you all because I thought about maybe myself, right? So growing up, give me some likes, some shares if your family talked about money. Did your family talk about money? I know for me, like, we didn't have financial literacy. There's a financial literacy crisis in America, for sure. We try to warn people through the home buying process. I see it all the time. People looking to buy a home and they're just totally unprepared. Don't know where their tax returns are. Don't know how to get their pay stubs. They're not looking at their pay stubs. If they have their bank statements, there's not sufficient funds on there. They can't understand why, if the bank statement is positive, why we can't still do a loan, or why we're very cautious to give someone thousands or more dollars if you're not managing the dollars that you actually have properly, right? So one of the things, people are just not ready. Yes, they say they want to buy, and I understand why you want to, right? Renting is a in-loss game for the most. You're going to lose in the end for the most part. If you are renting long term and you are someone that should be buying, meaning you are staying in the area, you do have the income, different things like that. So I grew up in Detroit. Money wasn't discussed. I was raised in a single parent household. My mom was a waitress for 30 years. Now, the one thing I will give Miss Adele, rest in peace, is that she told me, though, that do not be a renter. So we always owned the houses we lived in. She lived in the Midwest, so they did things called a land contract. So credit and different things like that weren't in play at that time. So I remember her always saying that we owned the houses that we live in. We didn't have a landlord and things like that. So that's one thing that stuck with me, and another reason why I wanted to be involved with real estate. So today's tip, though, like I said, we didn't talk about finances. Like, we're learning these things on the go as we make mistakes. And do you know it's much easier to train somebody to not make the mistake than to have to go back and correct the mistake, right? So I think it's like training a dog to tricks or whatever. You can train a person up front to do something the right way. And it's easier to do that and mold that mind versus trying to go back and correct it. So this Christmas just passed, and I know a lot of people do, when we start saying financial literacy, spend money on different things and, then got to get out of debt and pay for it. But I did something interesting this year because what if we do? What if we are the first family in our generation to actually start build some wealth or start owning things or trying to move the needle, and then we have our kids that we don't normalize these conversations with. So it starts at home with our kids. So my kids are 13 and 14. And what I did this year, you guys are going to be like, what? This is not making any sense. But can you see that right there? So don't be looking at my numbers. It's American Express, right? So I gave both my kids Gold Card American Express. And I know you're like, why, why would you give your kids Gold Card American Express credit cards? I did it because I wanted them to start their credit history. So I wanted them to have a credit score. So when they turn 18, they already have a credit score. So this is one thing that I normalize with them is that, hey guys, I'm going to give you credit. Yes, credit. Now, obviously, they have to use it responsibly within the spending limits that I give them, but we're going to start building a credit history for you. So you can add your kids as authorized users to your account so that they can gain the credit history you have that is actually positive. So how is that building wealth? Well, one thing is we all know everything in America now is revolving around your credit score, right? So if you don't have good credit, you're already limited in the things that you can do to move forward, to buy a house, to rent a car, your job, your car insurance. Everything is revolving around credit. So I want to normalize having these conversations with our kids, but also making it responsible for them. So not only I'm going to double up though. So I'm giving them American Express Gold cards to use. You can do the same to help make sure your kids have at least a 700, 800 credit score when they start off and not start off hustling in reverse. Because I remember I showed up at college, had no idea what a credit card was, had all of these booths, had me sign up for all of these credit cards. I went to Belk's and bought some duck head shorts because I didn't know that duck head was the thing going on in North Carolina. So I went to Belk's, bought duck head shorts, and didn't realize that I might need to pay the bill, but I'm a college student. I have no idea about how all of this works. You just said here, sign up and I get a free credit card that I can go and use. So yeah, for Christmas this year, gave my kids credit cards, right? So credit cards. Now, one or two things are going to happen. They're going to learn some financial literacy on budgeting, on using that card. We're going to earn some Sky Miles because I like to fly. So that's actually a miles card. So we're going to use some miles on the card. And we're going to use it for daily activities that we already have. And it helps us budget because we can see everything that we're spending by doing it right there on one statement and then paying it off with a debit card. So we got to normalize talking about finances with our kids because, like I said, America, come on, we're in a financial crisis. We know that debt ceiling is ticking, and it is a country that's built on debt and consumerism, but you have to know how to play the game to actually win. And I just thought, I don't want my kids starting off, under the gun, like hustling in reverse. And like I said, my mom couldn't teach me what she didn't know, but if you know better, you have to do better. And we have to have, those conversations. So if you're not with that though, and you say, hey, no way, they're not going to be responsible enough to have their own credit cards to use. Here's this. This is a green light debit card. Look at that. Okay, that's a green light debit card. This is also a card that we can use with our kids to work on finances. So we started off with the green light debit card 2 years ago when they weren't old enough to be put onto my card as an authorized user. So the green light debit card helps you put chores. You can put money on here, automatic return. They get money for chores. They have a budget. It also has the ability to show them how to invest money that they come in by buying fractional shares. So check that out, green light. And this is Devin's card, actually has his picture on him. So they feel like, they are, in the know as well. And as you know, we're going to a cashless society as it is. So they definitely need to be able to interact and use these things. So you can autofill based on the chores that they actually do. You can have an auto amount that goes to saving and investing. Also, you can have something towards their goals. So it's just no excuse for us now in 2022 to not prepare our kids moving forward. What difference does it make if we work all this hard to build wealth and we leave it to our children who are uneducated, who don't understand how any of this works? So Kathy said, interesting. I've been thinking about this. She has her own bank account that she can use. A credit card also does this count. If it's truly a credit card and it's tied to her social security number, yes, Kathy, this actually counts. Now, obviously, they can't go into legally binding contracts with their credit until they're 18, but this credit history that they're getting through our authorized user account is actually building up. So we actually can, get merchant accounts and things like that going in their name or have their name on it and report the credit. This is not what used to happen with us, right? When we got accounts in our name back in the day, it was accounts to keep the cable on, right? Okay, all right, I'm tripping. I'm taking y'all back to my growing up in Detroit. That was a joke right there, right? So your mom put the cable in your name, but then you didn't find out until you went to go buy a car. Okay, I got jokes, all right? Or remember the JCPenney card that you had, but you thought you never had? At least mine will actually have the card, all right? So, all jokes aside, guys, I wanted to jump on and just say that this is a tip, in my opinion, to actually help build wealth with the family, because if the kids don't understand what's going on with money, we have to normalize these conversations, around our dinner table, around our house, right? Not them finding out when they step out into the world. Patricia said, yeah, she had a Montgomery Wards, right? Picture that. So it starts at home. We have to normalize it. We can't, rely on our schools to do that. It has to start right there in our house. So if you're somebody in 2022 that wants to build wealth for your family, either by buying your first home or refinancing your current home to maybe buy an investment property, or taking your equity is no good if it sits in the house, right? Equity is no good if it's not put to work. So my goal for this year is to have a lot of time on task about our finances and what's going on. And one thing I know about equity, if it's not working for you, it's just sitting there, right? It really doesn't matter if it's not working. So one thing I can say that I've seen from the Wealthy Blueprints is all of their money is being put to work. There's low, lazy money, right? So there's no lazy money. So got to put the money to work. So if you're somebody that own a home, think about refinance it, maybe to buy that business for the family, to maybe pay off high interest debt, right? To improve your cash flow so that you can start to invest in stocks and bonds and things like that. I truly believe, though, that home ownership is the cornerstone for that, for the average everyday American who are like myself, did not come from money, but want to be on the right side of money in the future. So that's all I got. So Amy said, owning an Xbox doesn't get you paid. Get those houses. Exactly. So I want to be able to help my children acquire real estate right away. And I did get a call, honestly, that also spurred this right before the break from a young couple. They were 19 and 18. A couple and kicking it. But I love the fact they tried to buy a home. And unfortunately, I couldn't help them, right? I couldn't help them because they did have a 2-year work history. Kudos to them. But I couldn't help them because they didn't have any credit history. So the first trade line out the door can't be a huge mortgage, right? Unless you can have someone that's going to co-sign, or you have some alternate trade lines. Both of them stay at home. So that was another reason too. I had already had that on my list of things to do to jumpstart some things for the kids. But if they would have had these authorized user accounts or some accounts that were in their name and now they turned 18 and that populated the score, they actually would have been good to go. So just some things to think about. I learned that from you. Equity sitting does nothing for me. Kudos, Kathy. Exactly. It's like we can't have any lazy. We don't want lazy people, and we definitely don't want lazy money. That's something I had to actually learn as well, because the rate of return at the bank these days, man, housing appreciation. That's right. So housing appreciation, I got it right here, is forecasted to go up 5%. Now, that is a survey or an average from Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the National Association of Realtors. So all of the big conglomerates, as far as real estate is concerned, on average, is supposed to go up 5%. And Fannie Mae is very bullish and thinking it should go up about 7%. But either way, if you have money sitting in your account that could be used as a down payment or closing costs to actually buy a house, tell me what your rate of return is on that money in your bank, in your savings account. And you're lying if you tell me it's 5%. Don't even do it. It's more like 0.05%. So no lazy money. Get that money to work. Quick tip, add your kids as authorized users, or at least start normalizing, get them a green light debit card. Like you said, you can also teach them to actually invest on the card. And it does come with a monthly fee. But you know what? The fee for the green light debit card is nominal. It's nominal. right? If we can't invest $10 a month for something to help our kids' future, man, shame on you. So that's Marquita Woods. That's my rant. Mark, great info. Thank you for sharing. Definitely thanks for tuning in. If you have mortgage questions, I have mortgage answers. My goal is to come back this year with the Tuesday tip. I don't care what it is, bad hair, whatever it is, I'm getting on here and getting it done. So I'm not a big believer in New Year's resolutions, but I do like to have a theme for the year. And my theme for this year is consistency. So I want to get back to consistency and just being consistent and delivering information that I feel will help you. The more people I help, get what they want, I'm going to get what I want in the long run. And I really truly believe in that. So this is Marquita Woods. My number is 196099. Signing out. All right. I'll see y'all. You're welcome, Benny. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks for tuning in. All right, y'all. Peace.